for your midday fix of facts and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Happy Friday. I'm Monique Tuzon.
I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us. I thought you were going to introduce Chal.
This is Chiro, by the way. I'm Mai Rodriguez.
Guest.
This is the Daily Dish.
And I'm Chal Lontoc. Join us in the next hour and a half where the news meets and stories that matter to you.
This is Chiro, the Bijan, our very special guest anchor today.
Yes, the fifth guest anchor. Mai, what's going on?
But we have the latest on the devastating toll that Typhoon Tino left in the Central Visayas, and the death toll has risen to 152. And not only that, there's another incoming powerful typhoon. This is a potential super typhoon, yes, Fung Wong, and it's going to be named Uwan once it enters the Philippine area of responsibility.
And I read that there's a possibility for it to be up to signal number 5.
Yes, one thing that's alarming about this typhoon is its
yeah,
enormous
but Chiro's
size.
also scared
And he's-
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, dogs can actually feel it.
No, they can feel it.
Yes, but it might go up to signal number 5. Right.
Yes.
Okay, maybe Chiro,
Let's
you want to
calm her
go down first and take your makeup break?
Let's
So
calm
there you
Chiro.
go.
Calm Chiro down.
Retouch,
Yeah, so
Chiro.
now, Mai, we've gotten the new statistics on the unfortunate casualties.
Yes, the
in
death
Cebu.
toll has risen to 152 as per the State Disaster Agency, and we have still people on the ground there to give us the latest.
Yes, and we hope, as I said yesterday, the missing just only remain missing and to find their families again. But please, everyone that's in the Luzon area and Bicol region, please make sure that you are ready for the next typhoon this weekend. It's going to be a strong one. It's going to be wide as well. So please make sure that all your power banks are charged, your food's ready, water, medicine, so that...
And your pets also. Please bring your pets with you always.
Yes. And okay, on lighter news, Angelina Jolie visits frontline city in Ukraine, and she met with medical workers, volunteers, residents living under constant Russian attacks. Jolie praised them for their strength and unity. How beautiful is
I
that?
love
Angelina?
Angelina
Yes, our
Jolie.
queen of advocacy.
She has always given her advocacy and her voice to refugees, especially those who are affected by wars, by genocide. So if you visit her IG page, nothing about her, no self-promotion. It's always about other people.
She is a humanitarian ambassador, and she's giving a voice to the voiceless.
Yes. And of course, Mo, Josh Botwood.
This is so funny, guys. You know how Filipinos love to do tarpaulins? So congratulations. So our very own Josh Botwood and New York Mayor-elect Joran Mandami got a few of the tarpaulins here in the Philippines. I don't know if do we have graphics to show on air?
I want to
Let
see
me guess,
that.
is this
They
the
are
one you
so
hang right
funny.
outside the gate?
No, but it's not even, but it's not even Josh Botwood. It was Chef from The Bear. Si Jeremy Allen White that they used. There. See, look, it says Josh Botwood.
The
It's Jeremy
Pinoy way of
Allen White.
celebrating.
And then for
That's
New
the
York
wrong
Mam
image, by the way.
Mam Dami, it's actually Mam Dami, but it's funny because it says the Philippines. We're so proud of you. So I just love that Filipino tarpaulin humor.
Yeah,
We know how to celebrate.
Pinoys are famous
Oh,
for the
there's Mam
tarps.
Dami. It's not really him. It's I forgot who that is. He's a comedian.
Right message, wrong photo, but still lovely way to celebrate. And speaking
It's
about
the thought that counts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course,
Speaking about celebrating, I am celebrating today. You're celebrating. Everyone is celebrating because today we have the Diamond Star with us here at the Daily Dish.
Maricel Soriano.
Yeah,
This is-
the one and only.
This is a first for Bilyonaryo News Channel, and she really doesn't give interviews, so we're so honored
Thank
that
you.
she's on the show this afternoon,
Yes.
and we're going to be talking about a lot of things, especially her new movie.
And you know what? Speaking of movie, I'm super excited for the new Michael Jackson biopic, which is actually starring his nephew, Jafar Jackson. So Jafar is the older brother, Michael's older brother's son.
Yes.
So if anybody plays Michael, it's him. Like if you guys watch a trailer, I got goosebumps.
Really? I want to go
It
check
looks
that
so
out.
good.
And you like this because it's pet friendly.
Of course, that's why our baby Chiro is here, because Dr. Shiba is gonna be here. His name is not really Dr. Shiba. His name is Philip Renner. Dr. Shiba is the brand. He's gonna talk about pet parenting, and we actually call him our Dr. Phil here in Daily Dish. So we have a lot of stories. We have a jam-packed show.
Exciting show coming up. Those stories and more after this, the headlines.
This is
In today's headlines, another huge storm threatens the country after Typhoon Tino. All eyes are on severe tropical storm Fungwong as it's projected to enter the country's weather monitoring area this weekend. The Internal Revenue Bureau expanding its probe into the flood control scandal as more personalities and contractors are investigated over alleged tax violations. In entertainment, it's all in the family. Michael Jackson's nephew steps into his legendary uncle's shoes for the upcoming biopic about the King of Pop. And we've got Philippine cinema royalty in the house. Catch the Diamond Star herself, Maricel Soriano, live. We'll also talk about pet parenting with Philip Renner, co-founder of Dr. Shiba, later in the show. Today's top story, the situation on the ground is clearing up following Typhoon Tino's rampage in parts of the Visayas and Mindanao. According to its situation update, state disaster officials report the death toll has risen to 152, with 86 individuals still missing. The report also says 96 people have been injured. Cebu was still reeling from a powerful earthquake and the storm when Tino unleashed its wrath. Meanwhile, a new storm is on the horizon. Disaster agencies and LGUs are preparing for a potential super typhoon that may enter the country's monitoring area within the next 24 hours. On Thursday, President Bongbong Marcos declared a state of nationwide calamity to fast-track help to areas affected by Tino. Tensions outside the Ombudsman's office this morning as protesters spray painted posters and demanded top officials be held accountable for the flood control mess. Ian Maghanoy is on the line with the latest. Ian, go ahead.
My disaster survivors and anti-corruption groups stormed the gates of Office of the Ombudsman Friday morning, urging the agency to include Malacanang and President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in the flood control scandal probe. According to Alliance for Health Democracy Secretary General Albert Pascual and Bagong Alyansang Makbayan Secretary General Mong Palatino, the Office of the Ombudsman and the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI, were employing what they describe as selective justice and cover-up for only investigating few individuals involved in the flood control mess. The group have likewise spray-painted X marks on at least 3 posters, which bears the faces of PBBM, Vice President Sara Duterte, and Ombudsman Crispin Remulla as a form of protest against the government's corruption to infrastructure budget, flood control projects, and the easing large-scale mining permits for business and foreign companies. Another 2 protests were set to be staged at Liwasang Bonifacio in Manila City and UP Diliman in Quezon City this afternoon, the group added. This will be followed by a massive protest on November 30 in Luneta Park, Manila, in a bid to hold accountable those who are involved in the flood control mess. Mai?
Thank you, Ian Maghanoy there reporting. The BIR's probe into the flood control scandal is widening as hundreds more individuals and contractors come under scrutiny for questionable transactions and alleged tax violations. Hannah T is on the line for the details. Go ahead, Hannah.
Mai, the Bureau of Internal Revenue's crackdown on individuals linked to the flood control scandal is far from over. More than 200 individuals and contractors are now under investigation following the filing of tax evasion cases against 3 of the so-called 5 BGC boys and the Discaya couple. The BIR Special Audit Team is currently tracking questionable transactions and ghost projects linked to contractors suspected of falsifying reports and evaded taxes.
Yan nga ang directive, di ba, to prioritize our so lahat talaga nakatutok, and we will make sure na lahat ng kumpanya na involved, lahat ng na may mention dyan ay ma-investigate.
Some companies, according to Lumagi, have refused to cooperate, forcing the BIR to issue substitute notices and enforce stricter documentation rules. The Discaya couple's St. Gerard Construction Corporation is already facing tax evasion charges for over 7 billion worth of its tax deficiencies, with more cases being prepared against related firms operating under joint ventures. Lumagi stressed that paying unpaid taxes will not erase criminal accountability. The criminal case for tax evasion is separate from the tax liability. Even if they are acquitted, that does not erase their tax obligations. He also cited the case of former DPWH engineer Bryce Hernandez, who returned luxury vehicles, clarifying that this does not count as restitution but a tax liability that must be settled. Mai?
Hannah, do we know if there are lawmakers included or senators?
Yes, Mai, we asked him about some senators who may have been implicated, who were implicated in the flood control scandal. That includes former senators and incumbent senators like Senators Cheese Escudero, Jinggoy Estrada, Joel Villanueva. He said they're also eyeing to investigate some of their, if meron man, no, kung merong tax deficiencies, itong mga senador, including some congressmen. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you for that report, Hannah T. A Batangas lawmaker is raising red flags over several flood control projects with what he calls signs of irregularity, from shortened structures to abandoned work sites. Joash Malimban is on the line for more on this story. Joash, go ahead.
Mai Batangas 1st District Representative Leandro Leviste conducted inspections on damaged flood control projects in the towns of Balayan and Lemery, Batangas. Many of these projects were built between 2021 and 2025 and were implemented by nearly the same contractors: Frandel Construction and Development Corporation, VR Patron Builders, and Vicmar Construction. These three companies reportedly bagged the most number of public works contracts in Leviste's district. During his inspection, Leviste flagged several irregularities, including flood control structures with significantly short sheet piles and projects left unfinished for months despite initial inspections 2 months ago. He also discovered at least 12 separate contracts worth hundreds of millions of pesos, all within a 1.5-kilometer stretch of a flood control project in Balayan, Batangas. Mai.
Thank you for that report, Joash Malimban. A newly formed anti-corruption group is criticizing the Independent Commission for Infrastructure for supposedly making light of the ongoing flood control scandal. This after ICI Chair Andres Reyes had a sign that said, "All you need is love," in a recent press conference. The group Artikulo 11 notes there's little action over the corruption issue. Just Ignacio has the full story on this. Just
My Artikulo 11 condemns the Independent Commission for Infrastructure for minimizing the corruption scandal in the wake of Typhoon Tino, which caused widespread death and damage, particularly in Cebu province. The group sharply rejected ICI Chair Andres Reyes' call for love, demanding instead immediate justice and accountability for officials implicated in the flood control mess. Artikulo 11 accused the ICI of conducting a whitewash by recommending charges against only 7 new individuals, effectively protecting senior government figures. They stated that this move ignores the massive central corruption schemes embedded in the national budget. The coalition announced the start of their 11 days of protest against corruption. 11 araw ng protesta laban sa korupsyon to pressure the government. This series of actions include rallies at various locations with a focus on areas affected by poverty and climate injustice. The protest will culminate in a major anti-corruption demonstration on November 30, Bonifacio Day in Mendiola. Artikulo 11 also rejected any notions of a military takeover, advocating instead for the creation of a People's Transition Council to enact political reform and eradicate systemic corruption. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Just Ignacio reporting there. Let's now go back to our top story. There's another storm coming, fresh off the heels of Typhoon Tino. Pungwong is now a severe tropical storm and will be named Uwan when it enters the Philippine area of responsibility this weekend. For more on this, let's speak to Pag-asa Weather Specialist John Manalo. Magandang tanghali, John. So itong si Uwan, it's expected to be a super typhoon and weather experts have been warning about rapid intensification as the storm gets closer. Gaano nga ba kalakas itong si Uwan base sa ating projections, John?
Yung lakas po niya sa kasalukuyan ay severe tropical storm. Pero bago ito pumasok ng PAR ay mas lalakas pa ito into typhoon category. At kapag pasok niya ng PAR ay andun din yung paglakas niya into super typhoon. In terms of winds, yung lakas po nito ay magbibigay ng signal number 5 sa ilan nating mga kababayan, lalo na dun sa landfall na points o yung sa babaybayin niya mismo. Sa kasalukuyan yung ating location na kanyang landfall ay sa pagitan nitong Isabela Province at Aurora Province. Ibig sabihin, yun yung mga lugar na makakaroon sa signal number 5. At in terms of strength, yung signal number 5 natin, yun yung may lakas ng hangin na at least 185 kilometers per hour.
Mm-hmm. So John, ang sinasabi mo yung projected landfall ay sa Isabela or Aurora area. At kailan ba ito mangyayari?
Sa Monday po ng madaling araw. Pero as early as Sunday, ay yung trough o yung extension ng kaulapan nito ay makakaapekto na sa atin.
Mm-hmm. Napakalaki rin itong bagyo, ano? And last we checked, the area of strong to gale force winds was 720 kilometers from the storm center. So generally malaking bahagi ng bansa ang kailangan maghanda. Tama po ba yan?
Opo, tama po yan.
Mm-hmm. Kailan po siya mararamdaman sa eastern sections of the Philippines?
In terms of winds, nakikita natin na i-issue na natin as early as mamayang gabi yung signal number 1. Yung signal number 1 natin ay may 36-hour na lead time. At ibig sabihin nun, meron tayong 36 hours para bago natin mararamdaman yung bugso ng hangin na yun. At by Sunday, ay doon na natin mararamdaman hindi lang yung hangin. Magsisimula itong maka-apekto dito sa eastern part or northeastern part ng Visayas at ganoon din naman dito sa Bicol region. And by Sunday hanggang gabi ay mararanasan na natin yung mga pag-ulan lalo na sa eastern part ng Luzon. At ganoon din naman dahil sa laki nito na binanggit natin kanina, yung 720 kilometers from the center, yun po yung extension ng mga kaulapan din natin. At ibig sabihin nun, dahil radius pa lang siya, kapag diameter na yung pinag-usapan natin, 1,440, napakalaki po nito. Kaya malaking bahagi talaga, posible din na abutin yung mga kababayan natin, lalo na kapag bumaba pa yung truck nitong si tatawagin nating Uwan, ay maapektuhan din yung mga kababayan natin sa Visayas at ganoon din naman yung ilang bahagi ng Luzon kasama yung Caraga region at Northern Mindanao.
Yes, John, I want to talk about that, the Central Philippines, since you mentioned it, especially Cebu, na nasalanta ng Bagyong Tino. Ano pong inaasahan dito sa Visayas from Uwan?
Aabutin po ito nung mga tinatawag natin na yung trough o yung extension ng kaulapan na meron dito na nakapaloob dito kay Bagyong Uwan. Kaya nandun pa rin yung tsansa na makaranas tayo ng mga pag-ulan. Pero hindi kasing tindi nung babaybayin mismo nung mata nitong bagyo na nakikita natin ay nasa Luzon. Ibig sabihin ay yung mga pag-ulan natin ay naka-concentrate lalo na sa Northern Luzon, Central Luzon. At ganoon din naman, pag bahagya pang bumaba, ay aabot dito sa Metro Manila, Southern Luzon, and Northern part ng Visayas. By the way, dito sa Metro Manila, ang pinakamataas na nakikita natin na wind signal ay number 2. Pero, worst case scenario, posible pang umabot ng signal number 3.
Okay, before we let you go, John, the most impact from Uwan, is it from the damaging winds or yung dalang ulan ng bagyo? How much rain are we expecting from this typhoon?
More than 200 millimeters po na pag-ulan. Simula bukas ng tanghali hanggang sa Sunday ay meron ng mga yung 200 millimeters and above, meron na yan sa Catanduanes. That means posible yung malawakang pagbaha, lalo na dito sa Central Luzon at sa buong Northern Luzon. Kasama po dyan yung Cagayan Valley Region, Cordillera Administrative Region at Ilocos Region.
Give us a picture of that very briefly, John. Gaano karami ang 200 millimeters of rain?
Kapag 200 millimeters na pag-ulan po, ang katumbas po niyan ay halimbawa, yung 1 millimeter po kasi meron tayong 1 liter ng tubig at halimbawa meron tayong 1 cubic meter na square. Ngayon, pag binuhos natin yung tubig na 1 liter dun sa 1 cubic meter, ang magiging level niyan ay 1 millimeter na taas. At yun po yung nire-represent niya. Ngayon, imagine po natin na halimbawa na 200 millimeters, 200 liters ipapasok natin doon sa 1 square meter na area o na cubic meter na lugar. Ganun po kadami yung mga pag-ulan na yun. So nakadepende po yan, malaki po yung magiging epekto niyan, lalo na kung low-lying areas yung tinitirahan natin. At ganun din naman kung nasa bulubunduking lugar, malaki po yung magiging epekto niyan in terms of landslide.
Tsaka maraming areas ang makakaranas nito, itong ganitong kadaming ulan from Bagyong Uwan.
Sa forecast po natin, yung buong Central Luzon, ganun din yung binanggit natin sa Northern Luzon, lahat po yan naka-forecast na lalo na sa Sunday, Monday, ay makakaranas ng greater than 200 millimeters na mga pagulan.
Okay, kailangan talagang maghanda ang ating mga kababayan. Maraming salamat, Pag-asa Weather Specialist John Manalo. Coming up next, she is a legend whose brilliance has spanned decades and she's still shining bright. The diamond star herself, Maricel Soriano, joins us right after the break, right here on The Daily Dish.
Welcome back to The Daily Dish. From the lovable Shirley in John and Marsha to her unforgettable dramatic roles. She's proven that true talent only gets better with time.
For decades, she's made us laugh, cry, also minsan angry, ganun siya kagaling, and cheer with performances that have defined generations. The Diamond Star shines on us. Of course, one of the Philippine cinema's most enduring icons, ladies and gentlemen. Today on The Daily Dish, the one and only Maricel Soriano! The studio is shining bright!
Inay, I call her Inay because she really is like a mama to me. She's an older sister, but Inay is her term of endearment. I'm so excited because you haven't done this in a while. You haven't gone to a live show.
Ang aga. Ang aga, di ba?
Thank you for waking up.
Natatakot ako
And I
kanina.
wanted you to come on the show kasi you have this amazing new movie coming up. It's
Yes.
called Meet, Greet, and Buy. This is, I've seen parts of it, because you've honored me with that. And it's it goes down to the cellular level. Napaka bigat, but kailangan pag-usapan. Tell us about this movie.
First, I'd like to say hello to everybody. Ang aga po natin, hindi ba? At saka, pero excited naman kasi ako. Kasi ganitong anak ko talaga, kailan ka pwede? May kasamang kilay, kailan ka pwede? Yung totoo. Yung ganon, di ba magpapanik ka? Nakatasa kilay na ni Ferdi. Alam mo naman yan, di ba? Pero itong movie po namin, gusto ko, kaya po ako nandito talaga dahil po gusto ko ipagmalaki sa inyong lahat yung pelikulang ito. Dahil unang-una napakaganda, marami pong makaka-relate dahil totoong nangyayari sa buhay natin ngayon. Yun ang
Anong storyline niya, Inay?
si Baby, ako po yun. May baby's lechon. May gano'n. Bali, nagkaanak siya, nag-asawa siya, nagkaanak siya, si Papa Pio. Younger days pa niya. Tapos nag-asawa siya ulit. Nagkaanak na naman ang dalawa. So parang iba, di ba? Dati kami, you and me against the world, ng anak ko. Pero this time, parang naiba dahil parang out of place siya.
Right.
So, pumunta ng States, ganon. Pero hindi siya naging masyadong successful, bumalik siya. So, hirap na hirap nagtitinginan kaming dalawa dahil parang hindi na kagaya ng dati, di ba? Parang ganon. Hirap ng nanay. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko
Ibabalance.
Ibabalance yung tatlo kong anak na lalaki. Tsaka gustuhin ko man na dahil may cancer ako dito. Yun ang story talaga nung may cancer, si Baby.
Actually, Chal, may scene dito si Diamond Star na pinapaliguan siya. And yung scene is si Piolo and si
Joshua.
Garcia. And in that scene, hindi nila alam kung paano i-relate yung, for example, yung falling hair part niya kasi nagkikimo na siya at that point. At saka paano na lang to make sure na happy pa rin, pero don't worry, pero hindi nila ma-balance. How did you feel about that part?
Dahil yung atake doon niya gusto ni Direk, wala lang. Kasi hindi na siya masyadong nakakaalala. So, nung pumasok si Piolo, sabi ko, dahil inaabot sa kanya ni Josh yung mga sobrang buhok na natatanggal niya dahil sinashampoo niya ako. Sabi ko, sino ka? Sabi ko kay Papa P. Tapos sabi niya, umiyak siya. Yung hindi pinipigil niya, ayaw niyang pakita sa akin. Iyak na nanginginig talaga si Papa P, buong katawan. Lahat. Grabe. Siyempre nakikita ko siya. Gusto ko rin umiyak. Hindi pwede akong umiyak. Kasi ang hirap.
Miss Maricel, when you play roles like this, many women, many people can always relate, especially the mothers out there, oo, like what you mentioned, yung pinagdaanan nyo sa scene na yon.
Ang hirap ng scene na yun.
Saan ka humuhugot?
Hindi ko na nga alam kung sa tenga ba. O ano, meron ba akong ano? Alam mo yung Marsha? Meron ako antena. O si E.T. Hindi ko na alam. Pero sabi ko sa kanya, sino kami? Hindi ko na siya kilala. Pero siya yung pinakapaborito kong anak.
Pero tinanong po ni Chal, yung hinuhugot mo ba yon from past experiences?
No. Yung present ko,
Yung
ano yung nasa
present.
harap ko.
In the moment.
That's a diamond star. In the moment, hindi na kailangan ng baon.
Hindi, wala akong baon dito.
Ever since,
Wala
even
akong
any movie, wala kang baon.
Sabi ko sa director ko, i-direct mo ako direct. Susunod lang po ako sa inyo.
Wow.
Kakayanin na rin ba natin yun, Ferdi?
Nawala ka ng tanong, ano?
Oo, na-speechless ako doon. Napansin niyo ba?
Yeah. But this is such an important movie and it's coming out in December, right?
No,
November
The 12th.
November 12. Kailangan tangkilikin po natin because this is a very important story to tell because at least, kung hindi ko yung makarelate, at least you learn from it kasi pwede yung tugunan ng pansin yung mga what you call it,
Napaka-importante
aspects.
ng nanay.
Yeah.
Napaka-importante ng nanay natin. Kaya ako po, ulila na, kaya gusto ko pong ipahatid sa inyo at iparating sa inyo na kung may mga nanay at tatay pa kayo, lagi niyong sabihin sa kanilang I love you. Sabihin niyo sa mama niyo I love you. Kasi ang hirap pag wala na sila, doon kayo magsisisi.
I really agree with that. I
Doon
also,
kayo
same.
Diba?
My mom's not here anymore. But, you know, when you say it, pati ako parang gusto ko na rin umiyak right now. You really feel it.
Nawalan nga ako ng matatanong sa kay Diamond Star.
But Miss Maricel, you've played mother roles, many of them already. And of course, other roles. This is quite hard, I guess, to ask, but which one is your favorite?
Lahat kasi
more than 50 years na,
lalo
no?
na yung mga recent kong ginagawa. Namimili na talaga ako. Gusto ko maganda yung storya.
So, binabase sa script
Binabase
always.
ko talaga sa script. Alam mo, itong movie na to para talaga sa amin. Kasi dumating na sa part na sinabi na ng director na hindi na kayo maarte, kayo na talaga yun. Yung role nyo, yung kung sino kayo, si Tupe, si Brad, si Leo, si Jerry, Baby, parang kami na talaga yun. Parang ginawa yung script para sa amin, pero hindi naman ganun.
But that's what makes a star like you shine even brighter. Meron pong phone in question.
Meron ba?
Yan, pasok na natin.
Medyo delikado to eh. Pero tatanungin ko,
Okay.
what's the difference between a diamond star, a mega star, and a star for all seasons?
Iba-iba kasi kami, iba-iba naman talaga ang tao. At saka ako nakalagay na sa utak ko na hindi lahat gusto ka. Alam ko yon. Pero nagpapasalamat ako doon sa mga hindi ako gusto. Dahil, gusto ko sabihin sa kanila na dahil sa inyo, pinaghuhusayan ko talaga yung trabaho ko.
That's a good question kasi tinanong ho namin kahapon dun sa namin sa guest. Pag may bashers, nagbabasa ba kayo ng comments?
Hindi.
So you don't get affected.
That's why I don't get affected.
Kaya palagi kayong happy.
Smile lang ako talaga kasi ang dami kong dapat ipagpasalamat sa Diyos.
Yes, because you've been in this industry for 5 decades. Ayoko naman sabihin na half a century
More than
or
50
whatever.
years,
Kasi baka
ayun.
masakit pa manampal si
Ayan,
Maricel
speaking about
Soriano.
sampal, Ferdi, may tanong ako
Hindi,
dyan.
ayoko.
Okay.
Tingnan yung anak ko, ayoko.
Okay, Miss Maricel.
Kasi alam mo, iba yung sampal na ganyan lang. Iba yon. Iba yung may emotion ka, yung adrenaline mo, iba, yung nagagalit ka na. Iba-iba
I
ang
want to
sampal.
ask about that. Of course, Miss Maricel is also known to be for her being queen of sampalan. Di ba? Pag nakita mo na nampal, ramdam mo, labas ng TV sa screens. But the question is, may nasampal na po ba kayo in real life?
In real life,
Out
ang
of
dami.
anger.
Ang dami. O, mga bakla. Mga anak kong bakla. O, ang dami. Sabi nila, patry nga. Alam mo, matatanggalan ka ng panga.
But out of anger, have you ever done it?
Hindi, wala. Ayoko. Kasi mas yung galit ko, doble, triple.
Paano magalit ang isang Maricel Soriano?
Hindi ako nagsasalita.
Yun ang nakakatakot.
Mas matinik
hindi ka
yun.
nagsasalita.
Oo, hindi ako nagsasalita. At saka wala ka dyan.
Ganon, invisible. Yeah, okay, I was going back to my question a while ago. You've been a child actress up to now, okay? Paano naging difference or ano po yung difference na when you started professionally with the current industry standards? Ano nakita niyo yung difference? What are the positives and the negatives?
Nung araw kasi, umpisa natin sa dubbing.
Okay.
Okay. Dati kasi per loop ang dubbing. Yun yung tinatawag nilang manual.
Yes.
Sa Tagalog, mano-mano.
Mano-mano, correct.
Ayan. Di ba? Pero ngayon, lukang-luka ako dahil napakadali lang mag-dubbing. Ano na
over
eh.
na lang, digital.
Digital na.
Digital. Oo.
Di ba? Digital. Ang swerte ng mga bagong pasok na artista.
Do you think na hindi nila natutunan yung art of the traditional way? Yung sabihin nila natin analog, yung mano-mano.
Or hard work, going through things step by
Mahirap
step.
kasi. Sa isang movie, meron akong 250 loops.
Kailangan mano-mano lahat yun?
Mano-mano lahat yun.
Miss Maricel, you mentioned mga bagong pasok. And I wanted to check in, syempre there are new generations of stars. And iba na ngayon, marami na rin ako hindi kilala. Have you gotten to work with any of the new generations?
Yun ang pinag-pray ko na lagi akong binibigyan ni Lord ng matitinong kasama. Kaya ang saya-saya ko.
Matitino, that's a key word. Kasi syempre, sino ba na ipapare sa'yo na kung hindi naman matino, di ba? Sayang naman ang kinang ni Diamond Star.
Ano ba yan?
Would you find it an insult pag may binigay silang sa'yo na isang actor na parang
Actually, oo.
hindi ka ready?
Hindi pa ready yung tao. Huwag niyo ibigay sa akin, kawawa naman.
Na-experience yun po.
Kawawa naman. Huwag niyo ibigay sa akin. Bakit to kawawa?
No. So you've experienced it. Oo.
Oo, na-experience ko na.
And paano atake?
Umalis na ako, hindi ko na alam.
Really? You refuse it? Sa bagay, because you earned it. 5 decades, you earned the right.
54 years.
54
To be
years.
exact, 54 years.
Wow. Paano in the digital world? Digital, sabi mo nga kanina.
Digital.
In the digital world, have you been able to manage to conform or
Penetrate.
not only penetrate but to develop or evolve with what's happening? Kasi meron kang sarili mong YouTube channel. Digital 'yon.
Alam mo, ang nanay ko sa dubbing room, si Lucy Quinto,
Okay.
ang grade ko, A.
Mm.
Yun ang grade ko, mag-dubbing. Magaling ako mag-dubbing. Mahusay ako mag-dubbing. At mabilis ako mag-dubbing.
Mm.
Kaya, wala akong problema doon.
Ngayon,
Sa YouTube,
Sa YouTube, naku, dati naninigas ako. Nanginginig ako kasi, paano ko ba, saka hindi ko maintindihan, paano ko ba iintregahin itong mga tao? Hindi ko matanggap na ang tanong ko sa kanila, intriga.
Really?
Sabi ko, alam mo, kung ako yung upo dito, masasampal ko yung host.
nako.
Di ba?
lalayo na po ako. First dyan ka, lapit ka na lang
Hindi,
dyan.
alam nyo,
You know,
madaming people don't know that Maricel is one of the nicest people you ever meet. She's super down to earth. At
Ay, oo.
pag dumaan yan sa pasilyo at mga damang tao, titigil talaga yan. Oh, anak, kumusta ka na? Tawag mo. Pag nung papapicture, hug mo naman ako, mga ganon.
Ferdi, it's nice that you say this kasi, syempre, some people out there, pag nakita Maricel, sa sobrang galing
Taray
niyo po,
queen.
Taray queen. I was gonna get to that. How do you address that?
Meron pang ganito, meron pang, na-experience ko to sa ladies' room. May nanay at may anak, ganyan. Tapos alam mo yung nanay nagpaparinig sa akin ng hindi maganda.
Like what?
To the
Diba,
diamond
bakit ba? Sino ba yan? Yung mga ganon.
Ah, okay.
Sabi nung anak niya, Mami, huwag kang ganyan. Sabi niya, ano ba? Ganon. Sabi ko, pagtingin ko sa kanya,
Naku, na silent treatment.
walang dialogue. So, ang
Kilay and
sasabi, magsumbong man siya sa labas,
Wala kang
ang
sinabi.
sasabihin lang niya, bakit ano bang
maririnig.
sinabi sa'yo? Wala, o di mukha siyang tanga.
How do you handle detractors? People that, talk about you.
Ganun lang, titignan ko lang.
Talagang silent treatment. No?
Titignan ko, parang isang malaking kalat. Pawalis nyo nga ito.
For
Parang
us
ganon.
dito sa Daily Dish, of course, lahat kami nakilig knowing that you're coming here. And we all
Starstruck
know,
lahat.
Starstruck,
Oo
really.
naman.
But the younger generation, medyo parang, baka hindi makakilala, makalimutan, Sometimes we feel
Pero
like
meron ako
disrespect.
mga Maricelians, junior Maricelians. Believe it or not.
JMs. Type ko yan.
Meron ako
And
mga
then they reach
na
out.
12 years old lang sila.
I love it.
10 years old. May ganun ako. Na sabi ko, "Hoy, anong ginagawa niyo dito? Dapat mga kimchi ang mga inaano niyo. Pina-idolize niyo. Bakit ako? Magsiuwi na kayo."
Ano sabi nila?
Sabi nila, "Ay, hindi po. Gusto namin kayo kasi pinanonood ho namin ang mga pelikula. Tawa-tawa kami, ang galing niyo." May ganun pa ako, tinaturo ako. Sabi ko, "Ay, nakakaloka mga ba. Alam ba ng mga magulang niyo na nandito kayo?" Sabi, kasama nga ho namin sila.
Sa labas.
Kasama
Bonding
sila.
moment.
But
Nakakaloka.
ito na nga, Inay, as I keep mentioning, you've been, sabi mo nga, 54 years in the business. You are one of the highest paid actresses there are in the Philippines. One of the most respected. And so 54 years mo na nagtatrabaho day in and day out, late nights, nagbabayad ka ng buwis.
Oo.
Ano masasabi mo kung yung buwis na binabayaran mo, na pinagtrabaho mo, pumapasok hindi pumapasok diretso sa dapat pasukan, pero sa bulsa ng iba? Ibiblip ko ba?
Silent treatment din ba?
Parang actually nagdasal ako noon eh. Nagdadasal ako pag ganyan. Yung sana magbukas ang isip nila na ang ganid nila, no? Ang sweetik, no? Yung walang kaluluwa. Wala silang kaluluwa. In short, hindi sila tao. Baka naman manananggal yung mga yan, hindi kaya.
Baka wala namang kaluluwa.
Walang kaluluwa.
So you watch, you see the news,
Yeah.
you really follow it as well, no?
Naku, type ni Corina yan. Baka sabihin ni Corina yan mamayang gabi sa agenda.
Ibalik ko lang ng konti to a little bit of the past. Because
Yes.
of course, Miss Maricel is also a regal baby.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you could share with us some happy or fun moments that you've had
Ay,
there.
naku, cute lagi si Mother. Si Mother.
Lily.
Oo. Pag ang baby ko, Maria went to town, Maria. Gumagano si Mother, sumasayaw siya. Tapos sabi niya, "Oh, you remember, ha?" Sabi niya, "Regal is Maricel. Maricel is regal." Lagi niyang sinasabi yun sa akin.
Isn't that, hindi ba
ba
mabigat yun na responsibility?
Oo, mabigat na.
Siya ba nagbigay sa'yo ng
Nag-coin
title
ng name.
Diamond Star?
Hindi si Mother. Merong nangyari na something, si Fidel Ramos Magde.
FVR, nagbigay sa'yo ng
Hindi,
title.
hindi.
Wow, sabi ko, wow.
Hindi, yung time na yun, meron siyang ginawang something na may diamond something. Parang doon nila pinaturn.
But kung gusto mong ipalitan yung title mo na Diamond Star ngayon, anong gusto mong title?
Wala.
Platinum Queen,
Wala akong
Legendary,
gusto. Wala akong gusto.
Inay.
Alam mo, sa akin talaga, wala naman yung mga label na yan eh. Pag namatay tayo, pagharap natin sa Diyos, hahanapin ka niya, tatanungin ka, "Anak, nagmahal ka ba? Anak, ganito." Wala yung label.
Anong sagot mo sa kanya?
Sabi ko, "Opo, Lord. Nagmahal po ako." Kaya sablay lahat.
Tatanong ko sana, alin doon? Lahat pala.
Gusto mo yung sablay?
Lahat,
Gusto ko
lahat.
yung sablay.
Sablay lang.
Ganun na lang ako. But you got 2 beautiful children, hindi naman sablay.
Ay, hindi. I have my boys with me naman. Kaya doon lang, panalo na ako sa mga anak ko.
Pero anong wish mo ngayon sa bansa natin, sa ano na mga nangyayari? May
Alam mo,
dilugyo?
yung feeling ko kasi parang babae ang Pilipinas eh.
Okay, that's interesting.
Oo. Nanay,
Agree?
pinagsamantalahan ninyong lahat. Di ba? Kinuha na ninyo lahat. Parang pagkatapos ba ng mga naibigay ko, naituro ko, naitulong ko, ito pa ba ang gagawin yung kapalit sa akin? Di ba? Sakit na sakit ako.
You saying it, looking at me, natakot po ako na baka sampal po yung abutin ko sa dulo ng line ninyo. But I felt the grudge.
No,
because that's how we
it's
feel.
not
That's
only
how
the
we
grudge.
feel.
I think it's important what the Diamond Star said. Kasi mahiya naman kayo.
Wala silang hiya.
Wala silang hiya. Kasi, like what you said, parang inay, nabigay ko na sa inyo lahat. Ito ipapalit nyo sa akin.
Yun ba ipapalit nyo? Sa lahat ng nagawa ko para sa inyong lahat. Diba?
Guys, magandang linya yan sa pelikula, ha? Dito nangyari yan sa Daily Dish. But talking of, wow, I don't know how you follow up with that kind of
You know, when I
statement.
talk to her and I listen to her say those words, syempre na-feel ko rin yun kasi nanay rin ako.
Oo.
Pero yung ramdam na ramdam mo, makes me think na maraming pinaguhugutan because 54 years
Yes.
in the industry, entertaining the madlang people, I'm sure it was challenging. But which one among all of those projects and your experience, yung talagang changed you?
Actually, ngayon, matagal naman ang nangyayari ito, di ba? At saka sila rin naman ang nagkakausap-usap. So, basta huwag pakialaman to, amin to. Siguro ganun. O ayan, inyo na yan. Pero yung kalahati, bigay mo sa akin. Yung mga ganun siguro, di ba? Hindi ko na alam dahil wala naman ako doon.
Correct.
Kaya lang, parang ganun ang dating sa akin. Na matagal na nilang ginagawa. Ngayon na talaga nasilipan talaga ng bonggang-bongga. Na kitang-kita kasi. Yung ano pa ba itatago ninyo, nakaladlad na, oh.
Ito na, inay. Madami pa tayo ilalad dyan. We'll be right back here on the Daily Dish with the Diamond Star.
Promise.
We are back with the Diamond Star here on the Daily Dish, and we have a few more questions for this amazing person. You know, recently you just threw a big birthday bash,
Yeah.
right? And people are talking about your health because you were being assisted everywhere. What's the state of your health?
Now I'm okay na. Nagkaroon ako ng yung spine ko kasi may arthritis. Iba din yung arthritis tumira, di ba? Sa spine nagpunta.
Oh my God.
Ganda, di ba?
Ganda.
Ganda. So, hindi talaga po ako makalakad dahil ang sakit. Sobrang sakit. Tumutuloy ako eh. Naglalakad ako ganyan. Ang sakit talaga. Tapos, nagdodoktor ako. In-injection nila ako na sa spine mismo para mawala. Kahit nag-injection na ako, wala. Hindi kaya.
Okay.
Wala talaga.
So, kasi ang dami nagtatanong, inay, kung like, what's the state of your health because they're concerned.
Kamusta na ngayon?
Kamusta ngayon, nagpunta ako Singapore, tapos hindi ako inopera.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ang ginawa lang sa akin, parang by laser, may 8 butas yung likod ko. Tapos, wala na, robotics na lahat yung gumawa.
Kasi
So, nagising ako, una nakadapa ako,
Okay.
alam ko eh. Tapos, nang nagising na ako, nakatihay na ako.
Oh my.
Tapos sabi, can you sit down? Sabi ko, of course. Can you walk? Nag-walk ako. Wala nang masakit. Sabi ko, Diyos ko, naiyak talaga ako. Dahil akala ko hindi na ako makakalakad.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Oo.
So you're the pink of health, thank God.
Oo. And then, pwede na ako umuwi.
That's it. Parang wala lang.
Parang wala lang. Ang tawag nila doon sa ginawa nilang proseso is discoplasty.
Disco.
Oh, di ba?
Gusto ko ang ganda
Ang
naman
ganda.
disco
Bagay na
plastic.
bagay.
Hindi ba sabi ko hanggang sa sakit ko.
Bongga
Hanggang
ba?
kayo?
Talagang hinahabol ako ng disco. Tawang-tawa nga
because
ako
we're
doon
worried
eh.
kasi ang dami yung projects. Siyempre, you have to take care of your health, di ba? And how you
Ay,
going to,
nakakatakot.
So that's so good to hear that you're okay. And you mentioned projects, Ferdi.
Oho.
Meron pa bang gustong gawin si Miss Maricel
Ay,
Soriano
madami
na hindi
pa.
pa
Madami pa
nagagawa?
yan.
Katulad
Madami
ng
pa. Hindi ko lang alam. Kaya lang gusto ko mabasa.
script first,
Oo,
kung may
script
i-offer
muna.
sa inyo.
Script
Always sa
muna.
script. Drama, comedy, any particular preference?
Ano? Thriller.
Thriller!
Of Miss Maricel.
Ibabalik ba
Oo,
natin
lahat.
ang shake?
Hindi naman ganon. Iba naman. Yung pumapatay ka.
Psycho,
Gusto ko yan.
thrillers.
Patayin mo sa ganda at kilay. Yung
Parang kaya ko abutin ng langit.
Pero thriller.
Pero thriller.
Pwede ko abutin yung langit. Okay, so this is my favorite part, Inay. This is what we
Where?
call the rapid fire questions.
Okay. Dapat mabilis ang
Mabilis ang mind. Kasi
Okay,
mabilis naman ang mind mo. Okay, so anything that comes into your head very quickly. Comedy or drama?
Both.
Okay.
Favorite co-actor you've worked with?
Richard Gomez.
Richard, why?
Because he's my brother.
Si Goma.
At saka
Okay.
maalaga siya. Mabait si Goma.
Okay. Director who challenged you the most?
Ismael Bernal
Why?
and Chitoronio.
Why?
I don't know with them.
Hugot ba talaga? Trabaho?
Hindi, oo. Magaling kasi talaga sila. They bring out the best in you kasi.
Oh, speaking about who got scenes that made you cry the most.
Where?
movie.
Any scene.
Any movie?
Yung pinakamarami.
Lahat ganun eh.
Talagang bigay all,
Oo,
every time.
todo, pati pamato.
Okay. Most memorable awards night?
Wala.
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 Memorable sila lahat.
Parang ganun.
Why is that? Parang normal na lang yon.
Hindi.
An awards is just an awards.
Kasi may gusto ko sagot pero hindi ko pwede
Hindi
isagot.
mo wag.
Okay, sige, bleep. Okay,
Okay.
eto gusto ko.
Ah.
One thing that fans will be surprised to know about you.
Na kasama nila ako sa isang salo-salo.
I like that. Biggest lesson showbiz has taught you?
Naku, hindi na naman pwede.
Bleep.
Oo.
Okay.
Hindi na naman pwede yung sagot ko eh.
Okay.
O sige, favorite song. Ayan.
Dalawa yun. Pero si Randy Crawford ang kumanta.
I like.
One Hello.
One Hello.
At tapos yung isa pa niya, na kinanta ni Nicole Kidman at ni parang nakalimutan ko yung
With
title.
Nicole Kidman.
Oo. With Nicole Kidman.
I-research natin, baka i-TikTok natin
Oo,
mamaya.
i-TikTok natin.
Okay. Morning or night person?
Night.
Thank you for coming this morning. Okay. What makes you laugh?
What makes me laugh? My baby. Si Lola.
Si Lola, the doggy.
Tatawa lang ako pag pumost na siya.
How would you like people to remember you in the far future?
Once upon a time, I was here.
Oh, wow.
Huwag mo papaiyakin.
Your favorite daily dish? Ayan.
Daily, tuyo. Ang
Tuyo.
paborito ko.
Tuyo! Matching
Yes.
talaga tayo, Dan. If you had 1 billion pesos, anong gagawin mo doon?
Mag-shopping ako.
Ayan! Walang Miss
honest
Universe
answer.
answer! Walang Miss Universe answer. Type ko yan.
Mag-shopping ka, di ba?
Yes.
Dami nun. One hour ko lang yung gagastos.
Kasabay ako,
Ay,
Inay,
dalawa.
can you please give a message to your fans and tell them about the movie after you message your fans?
Sa may mga diferensya kong mga fans. May mga diferensya sila. Pero gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo na dahil sa unconditional love na binibigay nyo sa akin, ayan, gumagaling ako agad. Kahit may sakit ako, nakakatayo ako. Gusto kong malaman nyo na mahal na mahal ko kayo. Walang keme yun Hindi ko sasabihin yun kung hindi naman galing sa puso ko. Kasi kundi dahil sa inyo, wala ako dito. Lagi niyo akong pinaglalaban. At saka yung, minsan kahit na mali ako, sa kanila tama pa rin. Ako magsasabi na, hindi, mali si Inay talaga doon. Huwag niyo akong pagtanggol doon dahil hindi tama. Yung ganon. Pero sa kanila, hindi, tama ka, Nay. Yung ganon. Malapit na ulit tayo magsalo-salo. Kaya magkikita-kita na naman
I
tayo.
love it. Magsalo-salo
Perfect
tayo
in
sa
the
pelikula mo.
movie.
Please tell them.
Ayan, lalabas na ang pelikulang pinakahihintay ninyo. Alam kong, sabik na kayong manood nito. November 12, hindi ba? Meet, Greet, and Buy. Ayan. Kasama ko po dito si Piolo Pascual, si Josh, di ba?
Joshua
Garcia. Si J.K. Labajo at si Belinda.
Among others.
Among others. Yun, marami pa po. Pero yun po, directed by Kathy Sampana kasi malapit sa Sampalan naman. Kasi Sampalan daw eh.
Direct Kathy, amazing movie. Congratulations.
Ito po'y hatid sa inyo ng Star Cinema. Maraming salamat sa mga manonood. At hindi po kayo magsisisi. Promise ko yan sa inyo.
Miss Maricel, it was beautiful to meet you. It was full of love with our greetings and no goodbyes. Thank you
goodbyes.
so much.
And
You
say
are
hi,
a
Mama
living
Mel.
legend.
See you around.
Yes, see you around. Hi, Mama Mel.
Hi, Mama Mel. I love you, Mama.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Kuya Lynn.
All right, up next, we will talk about all the love that comes with pet parenting. And we have the cutest special guest. More stories coming up with the Daily Dish.
The Daily Dish. We all got that warmth and care for our fur babies more than pets. They are our family, and our very own Chiro is with us today.
Just for people to know, first time to
This is her debut.
First time on
and
live
look, she
TV.
matches all of us. And guys, can we just show Chiro's fit? 'Cause it's so cute.
Let's show it.
She is best
Oh my
dressed.
gosh,
She is the best dressed.
I really want to hug and
Oh,
carry Chiro,
no,
but I
look
might
at the
drop and I
mama.
don't want to lose my job, so I leave it to Okay, but of course, beneath all this care is a whole lot of investment that makes sure that they live as healthy as we do. Our guest today champions that, building a strong pet brand easily found in households. Dr. Shiba founder Philippe Renner, did I get it right, is here with us today. Hello, thank you for being here today. Say hi to Chiro as well. Okay, you own a very well-known pet brand. Tell us about how you got into the pet industry.
So I'm a pet owner myself.
What kind of pet?
I have a golden retriever.
So you have a dog as well?
Yeah, very
Okay.
cute golden retriever who's 9 years old.
You want your toy?
And she was basically the inspiration for Dr. Shiba. So for the longest time, I had been looking for products that would serve her needs. I take supplements myself, very basic stuff. And I wanted to give some basic supplements to her. And even though she's a golden retriever and usually on the street picks up almost anything, she's smart enough to eat around supplements. So whenever I tried feeding her something, it just didn't work. And there was nothing here in the local market. So I thought about how to solve this, and this was how the idea of Dr. Shiba was born. So we originally started with...
She approves.
She approves.
She likes the toys she was playing
with
us
supplement
earlier.
treats. Do you want to try one?
Okay,
You
so
want to try a treat? It's okay. It's hypoallergenic, so your mommy watching. It's okay. Oh no. Here, Baba.
So you've actually studied, of course, the Filipino market
Yes.
to be able to do this. How different are Filipino pet owners from how you're usually accustomed to?
I don't know if they're very different, to be honest. I think there's a global trend really around pet humanization. And I think the Philippines is one of the leading countries in terms of
We're
dog
leading,
ownership.
we're not behind.
Sorry?
You said
Well, dog ownership, you're definitely leading. The Philippines has one of the highest dog ownership rates in the world. Almost 80% of households have a dog, depending on numbers. I think where the Philippines, at least if you look at Manila, and I don't know if you walk around BGC, I mean, look at Chiro, she's completely dressed up. People are treating their dogs more and more like family
we
members.
see more strollers with dogs
Strollers
than
as well, yeah.
babies.
Exactly.
I'm just curious, Dr. Phil, why you chose the Philippines to do this market? Because you could have done it anywhere. Germany, the US, you live there for a bit, you live in Bali. So why the Philippines?
I grew up in Southeast Asia, actually. I grew up in China and Singapore, and I've always been stayed connected to the region. And when we thought about the brand, we of course studied different markets, and the Filipino market in particular looked very interesting given the high pet ownership rate. Also high willingness to spend on pet products. And then I think the other thing that is quite prevalent here, even though it's obviously an island country, the logistics work really well. And with the online marketplaces, Shopee, Lazada, nowadays TikTok Shop, it's very easy for people to order. It's also quite easy to sell. And that's why we started here, yeah.
What supplements did you see that are lacking that you see now with your business that's really flying off the shelves?
I mean, we do different things, right? Our best-selling product is called Happy Tummy, and it mainly contains probiotics and prebiotics.
So dogs need probiotics and prebiotics.
It's good for
just
their
like
gut
humans.
health, right? In the end, digestion is a key thing, and that is one of the things that wasn't really available. So that is, what we started with and has become our hero product that most people know us for. But of course, other things, we have Silky Fur here, for example, which contains salmon oil. There's things for fur. There's overall immune system support. It really depends a little bit on the individual dog's needs, right?
Yeah, so you actually mentioned that Filipinos are actually at the forefront of owning pets, of having, especially with dogs. And Mo over here, you know, every time we hear these unfortunate news about typhoons, you're the one who always reminds our mga kababayans to make sure, because it's often forgotten.
It breaks my heart because, right, sometimes they don't, actually most of the time, they cannot evacuate with their pets. I mean, yes, it's happening now more
Some people
often than not.
forget, some people
they leave
do it
them
by choice.
They leave
some-
them chained or they leave them
Yeah, so
in
that
the cage.
currently happens. So what do you think are other things that are mislooked by parent or doggy owners here in the Philippines?
I mean, I think one flip side to this whole pet humanization thing is that pets are still pets and not humans, and some of the behaviors are not necessarily the best for the dogs. I think one of you mentioned the strollers earlier. I mean, generally speaking, dogs can walk and they should
That's
walk.
what they should be doing.
yeah.
So-
We see
Yeah.
obese pets because they're not
Exactly.
walking.
So I think some of these ways of over treating them, being overly careful, in the end is not really in their interest. So that is one example. I mean, there's a very trivial example. Some pet owners put these socks onto their
Yeah,
pets
I
at
see
home.
that a lot in BGC
shoes.
especially.
Shoes, yeah.
I mean, would you say there's a point that it's inhumane how we're treating pets and how we're dressing them to the point where, like you said, they're not humans, right? They should
Yeah.
be treated not differently, but I'm saying like they're dogs. They should be walking and they shouldn't have shoes. They shouldn't have socks. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a fine line, right? There are things that are still good for them, and if you do that, I mean, if you dress the dog a little bit like her, that's
Like
completely
this?
fine, right?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
okay.
that's just not any dress.
This is couture.
Couture.
Chiro is our couture girl.
So yeah, do's and don'ts that you would say to avoid, you know, is there such a thing as over-parenting?
Over
For-
pet parenting,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
can be helicopter
Yeah.
pet parents.
Yeah, so what are the do's and don'ts with that?
I mean, I think treat your dog as if it was family, or
Okay.
if it's family, but still make sure that what you do aligns with what is actually good for dogs. I mean, one of the other things I think, especially around Manila here, that we are seeing is that very much driven through the pandemic when a lot of people started adopting pets. A lot of these dogs are not properly socialized, right? So because they had to stay at home a lot of these pandemic aged dogs did not meet a lot of other dogs during their early days, and they now struggle with other dogs. And I think one of the things here is also that you should try to bring your dog together with other dogs so they can socialize, they can learn how to play.
Like a play date.
Yeah, literally like a play date,
Yeah.
yeah.
So take them out with other dogs, expose them as
Expose them,
well, and let them do their doggy things together. You agree, right?
agrees.
Chiro
You
agrees.
better
Thank
preach.
you.
You know, this is the first time I've heard her bark. Chiro, can you say something? Do you have any words of encouragement? No? Oh, now you don't want to talk. Now you don't want to talk.
Okay, what do you suggest for fur parents to do less?
I think let the dog be a dog. Honestly, the overparenting is a
agreeing
thing.
Bark.
again.
She said yes.
The
let me be a
overparenting
dog.
really is a thing.
So I like that, you know, because oftentimes, of course, as a doggy parent, we find it cute, we find it lovely, it's fun, but is it actually comfortable for the dog? Is it actually needed? So just like how you would do with your children, with your child, it's the same thing with our doggies. Okay, must do things for doggies. What's in your top 5 list?
Walk the dog.
Walk the dog.
So
that's
how
one.
long? How long is
Yeah,
a
that's a
typical
good
walk?
question.
Because most people they can say just 10 minutes is enough, but I feel like there's an adequate amount of time that they should be walking.
Depends on the dog's size, right? I mean, in the end, a dog like her, you don't need to walk for a long time, but especially if you have bigger dogs, you really do need to take them out.
She's giving her parents a shout out right now. Yes, say hi to your parents, baby Chiro. Yeah.
Okay, what's second on the list? Walk the dog. Second,
Give them proper nutrition.
proper nutrition. And when you say nutrition, aside from the meals, what can a dog have?
I think the meals are actually the key thing, to be honest.
Okay.
It matters a lot what you feed your dog, and that's also one of the things that has been changing in the Philippines. Traditionally, a lot of dogs have been fed with leftovers from just what humans were eating.
Yes, this
And
is very common.
That's very common, yeah. But there are sometimes also things in our food that's not necessarily good for them. For example, we cook with garlic. Garlic is poisonous for dogs. So I think this is already one thing where we're seeing a shift that there's more dog food being bought and dog food given to dogs, which is good. But then I think if you look at dog food, you also need to make sure that it's good dog food. Unfortunately, most dog food that is sold at scale is not necessarily very good for
Actually,
dogs.
I heard about that. So how can fur parents be more receptive, and how do they check the labels on which food they should buy?
So I think the one very simple thing to look out for is that all pet food in the Philippines needs to be BAI registered.
BAI
Let's repeat that.
BAI, the Bureau of Animal Industry.
Okay. Is there a seal?
There is a so-called CFPR number, which is a product registration number, and every single product needs to be registered. So that is definitely something to watch out for.
Okay.
Because if
I
it
didn't
does
even
not
know
have a BAI number, it's technically not even legally allowed to be sold. After doing that, you should really go through the ingredients. You should look how much protein is in there, how many fillers are in there. You want to get a fairly high percentage of protein, 20 or even 30% and above. You want to avoid other types of, I don't know, for example, byproducts very often are on the label, and you don't really know what that is meat byproduct. Avoid these things. Go on ChatGPT, Google it, right?
Yeah.
And then also, very, very importantly, a lot of dogs have allergies, and actually a lot of dog owners know about them. But I see very often people inquiring or saying, hey, my dog had a reaction, they have an allergy, is there chicken in this product? And we're like, yes, it's on the label.
Yeah, you didn't
So
check.
please do read the label.
Read the label.
And make sure that it complies with what is needed.
But you know what I've also seen a lot online that most fur parents are doing right now? They're cooking the food using, human food, like chicken, boiled rice. Thoughts on that?
I think that's good. I mean, generally speaking, a diverse diet is also good for dogs, same as for humans, right?
So don't always stick with one dog food, like switch it up?
If there's a dog food that your dog likes and you know it ticks all the nutritional boxes, of course it's fine to continue feeding your dog with it. But dogs might also get fed up with a certain type of food after some time. So if you put in freshly cooked food from time to time, that's great. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just add one more. So you said walk the dog, then with the nutrition, check on
the
that,
label.
check the labels, and what would you suggest still? One last.
I mean, there's one very basic thing I obviously didn't mention, which is just get their regular checkups done and make sure they're properly immunized. So, of course, neutering and spaying early days, right? But then also making sure they have the shots that they need. I mean, they need to have their rabies shots and so on. Very basic things.
Yeah, actually, you know what I want to ask though, because we're in a hot tropical climate here in the Philippines. I've seen huskies, I've seen Great Pyrenees, like the dogs that are not supposed to be in hot weather.
Yeah.
So are they supposed to be in air conditioning 24/7? When is the appropriate time to walk them? And do you think that's humane to keep
And bring them
cold
over
dogs?
here.
Yeah, to bring them here to the Philippines, because I get so sad for them when I see them.
So these are my opinions. I'm also not a vet,
Right.
right? I think this is best answered by a vet. Of course, I think these dogs traditionally have not existed in warm climates.
Right.
They are here, and I think we see them struggle. You can very often see their tongues out. It's hot for them. I mean, dogs cannot sweat, right?
So those are the signs, right?
Those are the signs,
Tongues
yeah. Dogs
out,
cannot
okay.
sweat, right? They only sweat through their feet and also through the tongue. So placing them into cold water, for example, making them stand in there helps. But of course, it's better for these types of dogs to be in cooler rooms.
Yes,
Nevertheless, they need to walk.
No, but
do
those
need
are
to
good
walk.
Right.
things to highlight so that you get to know your pet
Yeah.
more. You've been in the industry for a couple of years already here in the Philippines. What would you say is something that's just not just only trending, but also an important product or an important thing that most of the Filipino pet owners have been craving for or
And that we're
really-
lacking here in the Philippines
Yes.
that you're going to bring to us.
So I mean, these products that I mentioned earlier were something that we brought here and that flew off the shelves. I think the big trend that we are now seeing is cats. So traditionally,
We have
the
cats here in the Bilyonaryo News studio.
Philippines has been a huge dog country, but cat ownership is going through the roof. So if you look at online sales on Shopee and the likes, you can see that this category of cats is growing like crazy. And this is a trend that we have also started hopping onto. We founded a cat brand called Professor Bengal last year.
Oh,
and
cute.
actually, we just launched it officially yesterday. So we're trying to provide the same type of healthy products that people can rely on and trust for cats that we already provide for dogs. But that's a huge trend. And also the average amount of spending for cat products is actually higher nowadays than for
Higher
dogs.
than dogs?
Really? Before we let you go,
Interesting.
what's the spend range for fur babies? Let's do dogs and cats right now that you mentioned that.
I mean, that really depends on each person. But if you just compare the average basket size of an order for cats, it's probably 30% higher than for dogs.
Interesting.
But the ranges are obviously very big because you can buy very, very cheap dog food for, I don't know, 500 pesos for a big, big bag that will
Yeah.
last for a month or so. And of course, you can also pay tenfold or even 15-fold.
Yeah.
Depends on the quality where it's produced and so on. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for enlightening us. Our special guest, Chiro, she got distracted. There's so many
left
people
us.
here.
She has a lot of
She wanted to
fans.
play with all of them.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to hang out with y'all. She wants to hang out with them. But thank you so much, Philip Renner,
Thank
who
you.
is the co-founder of Dr. Shiba. Thank you so much for coming and making time
Thank you
for
for
us
having me.
here, of course.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Let's check what's happening in other parts of the world. President Donald Trump had some strong words for New York City's incoming mayor, Zoran Mamdani. Trump called Mamdani a communist and questions how that might affect the city's infrastructure plans. Trump also defended immigration and customs enforcement raids, saying they're focused on removing criminals from the country. He went on to point out what he described as improvements in Washington, D.C. and Memphis, citing better safety and stronger economic recovery under his administration.
Well, I think you have to look. If he is a communist, you know there's not going to be a lot of activity. So you wouldn't need bridges and tunnels and all the different things that were being planned for New York, I think. And look, I hope New York does well. That's all I can say. I love New York. I grew up in New York. I did well in New York, always did well. And I hope New York does well. That's all.
Former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi won't seek re-election in 2026. This ends a political career that spanned nearly 4 decades. The 85-year-old lawmaker from California made history as the first woman to lead the House. She also became one of the most powerful and polarizing figures in American politics. Pelosi often clashed with President Trump and led 2 impeachment efforts during his term.
That is why I want you, my fellow San Franciscans, to be the first to know. I will not be seeking re-election to Congress. We can be proud of what we have accomplished, but there's always much more work to be done. Thank you, San Francisco, for trusting me to be your voice in Congress. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Hollywood actress and humanitarian Angelina Jolie has visited Ukraine's frontline city of Kherson. She met with medical workers, volunteers, and residents living under constant Russian attacks. In a statement released by the Legacy of War Foundation, Julie praised Ukrainians for their strength and unity, saying their resilience is humbling at a time when many governments are, quote, turning their backs on the protection of civilians. The city of Kherson, once home to nearly 300,000 people, remains one of Ukraine's most dangerous cities. Jolie last visited Ukraine in 2022, meeting families displaced by war in the western city of Lviv. Prince William is calling on world leaders to seize the moment in fighting climate change. He urged them not to waste the opportunity presented at the upcoming COP30 summit in Brazil. The Prince of Wales warned that the planet is nearing critical tipping points, saying no corner of the world will be spared. Prince William is representing his father, King Charles, at the summit. Earlier in Rio de Janeiro, he hosted the Earthshot Prize Awards, which grants £1 million each to 5 innovators addressing global environmental challenges. This marks the prince's first official visit to Latin America ahead of Brazil's hosting of COP30 next week.
Let us build a future where nature is valued and where every child inherits a world of prosperity, not peril. Let us rise to this moment with the clarity that history demands of us. Let us be the generation that turns the tide, not for applause, but for the quiet gratitude of those yet to be born. This here at COP30 is our moment. Let us not waste it. Our children and grandchildren are watching and hoping. Obrigado.
Sotheby's Geneva is set to unveil a rare pink diamond known as the glowing rose. The precious jewel is expected to fetch up to $20 million at auction. The 10.08 carat cushion-cut gem is one of only 3 vivid pink diamonds of its size to appear on the market in the past decade. It is cut from a 21-carat rough diamond mined in Angola last year. Also going under the hammer, a Rolex wristwatch worn by British swimmer Mercedes Gleitze during her historic 1927 Vindication swim. The gold timepiece, valued at more than $1.3 million, marked a turning point in waterproof watch design. Adding to the sale's star pieces, a diamond brooch once worn by Napoleon Bonaparte is expected to sell for up to $250,000 or about 14.5 million pesos. More stories still coming up. Stay tuned for all the buzz in sports and entertainment. The Daily Dish will be right back.
This is my Daily Dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. LeBron James's 23rd NBA season is about to tip off. The King has been cleared to resume practice after he was diagnosed with a nerve issue in his lower back last month. The team says physicians will be reevaluating him for 1 to 2 weeks before making a full return. But so far, the Los Angeles Lakers are off to a hot start, even without the King. The Lake Show are on a 5-game win streak, and they're second in the West with 7 wins and 2 losses.
The story of Michael Jackson's rise from child star to the king of pop hits to the big screen. Lionsgate just released a teaser trailer for Michael. MJ's nephew Jafar steps and dances into the role of his legendary uncle for the much-awaited biopic. The film explores Michael's prodigious beginnings with the Jackson 5 to becoming one of the pop culture's most unforgettable icons. Michael is set to moonwalk its way to cinemas in April next year.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this. The tracks are made, The songs are ready. Let's take it from the top. This is your story. Honor your past and embrace the future. That's what people want.
Q, can you lower the lights for me, please?
Okay, but remember, in here, keep those feet still, my man.
That just gave me chills. It looked so good. Now from the moonwalk to your home in the sky, grounded no more. The wait is over. Mabuhay is back. Philippine Airlines' iconic in-flight magazine flying after years in hiatus. The Daily Dish was invited to its fabulous relaunch. Let's watch this. We're here at the historic Nielsen Tower, where Philippine Airlines celebrates the return of Mabuhay magazine, refreshed, reimagined, and ready to tell the stories that make every Philippine Airlines flight feel like home.
We're very excited with this relaunch and this reimagining of Mabuhay magazine. We feel like an in-flight magazine should offer more than that. We wanted to be able to tell you stories about the Filipino. Filipino creativity, Filipino excellence. Shine the light on these stories that are not as widely told and that social media probably will not distribute in terms of its algorithm.
We decided actually to make it a collectible. Every issue of Mabuhay now will look like your Mabuhay magazine, but we will invite guest editors who have not done print magazines and work with them to give another take on what a Mabuhay magazine could be.
So to us, Mabuhay magazine is not just an in-flight magazine. It's really part of the whole PAL experience. It's really part of how we make our passengers feel the heart of the Filipino and how we make them feel the care that comes from the Filipino heart. It's also our way of connecting with our passengers, whether Filipinos or whether foreigners. And so it's really our way of connecting not just with Filipinos, but also with foreigners and ensuring that they are informed about what the Philippines is all about.
Truly, the heart of the Filipino.
Indeed.
More than just an in-flight read, Mabuhay magazine returns as a symbol of connection, bringing together travelers, cultures, and stories that remind us why it's always more fun to fly and explore with the heart of the Filipino. This is Mai Rodriguez for the Daily Dish on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
All right, as we wrap it up for this week, here's what you can expect on the Daily Dish on Monday. The power couple of Olympic double gold medalist Carlos Yulo and his girlfriend, content creator Chloe San Jose, will join us live at noon on November 10th. Catch our conversation with Chloe and Chloe only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
And we're going to do some tumbling here in the studio. Ferdi is going to show us his cartwheels.
And how many more tumbles before Christmas?
And
48!
It worked this time. All right.
That's it for us today, Friday, November 7. Join us again on Monday for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With zero filter, I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is a good time because it's always more fun with us.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top of the news and stories that matter most.
I'm Chal. Lontoc. Stay tuned to the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Stay safe and have a great weekend, everyone. That's the Daily Dish.